Hey everybody, this is my review of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, uh, episode 3, titled Bye. And it starts out with a flashback, and lots of people have been having trouble with these flashbacks. How are we supposed to know what was happening in 3? I mean, you do see a lot in the first episode, but you still need a lot more filled in. I actually would like to have seen a teeny bit of him, maybe, landing in the helicopter and being in the hospital. Just a little bit. And maybe we'll get to see that later on. You never know. But, yeah, the flashback we get to see those. Him, after he's healed, and I guess after he started doing his consignee work, he gets to go into the CRM one day, just as kind of like, just to get to see what the good life is. And he runs into Jadis, and Jadis, tells him some things he likes, other things he doesn't. But he's mad at her for, pretty much doing, getting him stuck there. Which, I mean, if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't, he wouldn't be alive. The next thing you see, though, is him in the now, or you see him in the now, and he's talking to Thorne and saying, don't, pretty much trying to keep her off of Michonne. Telling her that she's like them. And then they skip to him and Jadis. And Jadis, is giving him, reading him the right act. Like, why did you bring her here? Which, Jadis is a good character, but, I mean, she should have enough sense to know he's not going to kill someone he loves like that. And she's, being the slimy slime that she can be, and telling him, you're going to do what I want you to do, or I'm going to kill everyone you love. And you would think, especially later on in the episode, that Rick would just tell Michonne. I know CRM's supposed to be secrets on top of secrets on top of secrets, but still you would think he would tell her that. I know she would get mad, but, anger can be a fuel. Her doing the same job as Rick and, going crazy, killing the walkers. That's a fun kind of, I don't know what I would call it. Repeat, maybe something like that. And her and that woman, she's trying to act like she's not skilled. And, it's just like me trying to act like I don't like The Walking Dead, or I don't like zombies, or I don't like movies, or, there could only be a few minutes that I could keep my mouth shut. Now, like, I can keep my mouth shut, like working jobs and stuff, about making videos, even though I've done so many. But it's just, it would be hard to do that when you hadn't seen your loved ones long and they were, right there. And then you have Okafor's funeral and Bill giving a speech, and I don't know, he doesn't seem like a bad guy, he doesn't seem like a good guy, he just seems like somebody that could, and even though the world's drastically changed, he didn't change himself. I mean, he made others around him adapt, but Bill just seems like he's doing what he's always been doing, and that can be good and that can be bad. it's funny how even though they've embraced Rick, they still Thorne, moves up the ranks faster than him. Uh, but I mean, they kind of know that he still wants, even though he says he doesn't want to get out, he still wants to get out. Yeah, right. Here's where he gives her the upgrade. Um, yes, there's 10,000 things going on in my area. Chickens and tractors and all kinds of mess. Um, Thorne is all shocked after she gets the echelon briefing. I'm wondering what is in that. Watch different videos. Some people think it's the variant walkers. Some people think that somebody in Philadelphia or somewhere close were the ones that came up with the virus. It's untelling. But she's like really shocked and really in it to win it now. Rick is trying to get Michonne out, and he's come up with a plan to get her out and for him to stay, because he knows they'll never let him leave. And he thinks that she's done that, and you think she's going to do that. But then, once he gets back and he's going to tell Thorne, hey, I did this and I'm going to help her get away. She's right back there. And, it's, he's, he's stuck. And he's also stuck with Jadis. And Jadis is really riding his ass. Yeah, it's sort of like Michonne doesn't realize that this is a situation unlike any situation that they've been in together ever. But it's cool when she does get to go into the CRM itself, and she gets to see the guy that does the screen drawings, which is still kind of stupid. I mean, I know it made for a cool thing for her to find in that one episode, but they still have TV there. Do none of those TVs or phones work? Probably not, but at least the phones, they could get the rare earth minerals out of them. And maybe they have. Maybe the screen's the only thing that's left, but leave it to me to be a scrapper at heart, even in the end of the world. But that's when you would want to be a scrapper, because who even knows where the mines are or how to refine or mine stuff. You don't. I mean, it's like that. They made two different versions of it, one in the 70s and one in the 2000s, but the show Survivors in the UK, and it's about a flu ravaging the world, and only 1% of the world survives. And how many people know how to run a nuclear power plant or make oil or gasoline or thread, or things fall apart. But yeah, they end up, Rick and Michonne and Thorne, Rick and Thorne take Michonne out to the place where they had their conversation with Uncle Thorpe, and there's some tension there. Rick thinks that she's going to kill Michonne, and Rick's about to kill her, and neither the one, I think, really knows that the other was about to do that. But they decide to take Michonne with them to Oregon, and Michonne's just being too much Michonne though in this. I mean, I love the character, but she's still being too optimistic. And I mean, you would have to be to ever escape any of these places, but you also too much optimism will get you killed too. uh, but they go out, and you would think that the CRM would have, I don't know, better fences or guards to keep the amount of walkers down, but they don't. So they have a fence that's down, and Rick and Michonne, break protocol and run out in there and kill a bunch of walkers. And they do have a cool little walker, like, killing thing. Like, if they made... Well, they did make Walking Dead toys, but if they made the Ones Who Live toys, it would be, like, something you would want to get for a Rick and Michonne action figure. It just would be. Thorne, really doesn't like Rick breaking protocol. Gets mad at him and says, sending you all back to Philadelphia. And so, they load him up. And, oh yeah. And you also find out Jadis is going to be there as well. And, in Oregon. But as they're flying back in the helicopter, they couldn't be too very high. It's raining and it must be going pretty low. But Michonne's crazy ass opens the door and jerks her and Rick out of the helicopter. Probably the dumbest thing on this show so far. I mean, I don't care if you were just 20 feet off the ground. Hey, luck is not that good. With my luck, I would hit a rock and break my back instantly and die. And I just... That was just silly. I mean, the rest of the episode, pretty good. Not as good as the other two, but still, like... I think the first is almost the most perfect Walking Dead episodes. I would say a 99. Second one is about a 97 to a 98. I mean, still almost just as good. Just there wasn't as much as there was in the first. So the fullness of the first one and how they fit so much into it made it just a teeny bit better. This one I would give like a 90, 91. Really good, better than a lot of regular episodes of The Walking Dead. But especially the helicopter bit at the end. I mean, that dropped at least a couple points just because, I mean, I like silly things, but that was just too silly, even for me. Anyways, we will see y'all next week, and sadly, we're already halfway through this, so savor them, enjoy them, because they're halfway done. See y'all.